Hello everyone! Welcome to another Let's Play. My name is Anna Mardal and this is a new game for me. It's called Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. It's the remastered trilogy on Steam. I've never played this game before. My friend Ben bought it for me on the Switch, the Nintendo Switch, so I could play it on the couch. And I was playing it and having a lovely time, and mentioned to Twitter that I was playing it for the first time, and my friend Cold Run asked if I would be interested in the Steam version so that I could do Let's Plays of it, because he likes my Let's Plays. So I said sure. So he was kind enough to give us this copy of... Okay, the keys are different from the Switch, so I'm having to figure out. Okay, so I don't know anything about Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. I've never played it before because I didn't have a DS for the longest time, and it was a Nintendo DS game. And literally the only thing I know about it is the boot to the head YouTube remix with the characters. And like, I think the first time I saw the boot to the head thing, I thought the characters were just made up for that video. I didn't realize that that was like an actual existing intellectual property that somebody had set to the boot to the head recording. So we're gonna be in for a treat because I don't know what I'm doing. But I have watched many episodes of Law and Order, and I feel like that's really all you need, you know, and some CSI, Law and Order and CSI. So, I mean, I'm practically ready to take the bar exam when you think about it. What is this? Episode 1, The First Turnabout. And there's a picture. It's like a card or something. Yes, that's what we're doing here. Something's dripping. Is it blood? Is it Jello? Gasp! Gasp! Oh, it was blood. Damn it! Why me? I can't get caught. Not like this. I've got to find someone to pin this on. Someone like him. I'll make it look like he did it. Okay. August 3rd, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Boy, am I nervous. Right. So we've got we have escape gives us options and tab gives us court record. Attorney's badge. No one would believe I was a defense attorney if I didn't carry this. Cindy's autopsy report. Okay, this seems important. I even, because I am a real lawyer and not just someone who's seen a lot of TV shows, that would be silly. I have a pen and paper here, so I'm going to write down notes properly. Cindy's autopsy report. Oh, I wrote auto spy. Huh, that's dyslexia for you. She died 7:31 between 4 and 5 p.m. And the cause of death was blunt force trauma. CSI loves that one. And then we have profiles. Mia Fay, age 27, chief attorney at Fay & Co., my boss, and a very good defense attorney. Larry Butts. Larry Butts! I won't make any asinine jokes about his name. The defendant in this case, a likable guy who has been my friend since grade school. And Cindy Stone, oh, okay, Cindy's autopsy report, so Cindy Stone. The victim in this case, a model, she lived in an apartment by herself. Okay, so back is backspace. So this is Mia, I guess. And she seems to be wearing a leather bustier, and I think that's like Ariel's voice in a seashell around her neck. So this is like Vanessa, Ursula's, the Sea Witch's human form, I suppose. But I feel like if anyone was going to make a really good lawyer, you know, from the Disney canon, it would probably be Ursula, the Sea Witch. Maybe also with, oh, I can't remember. What's the villain's name in Tiana? It's like Dr. We're going to have to look it up. This is obviously very important, and the Let's Play cannot continue until we've looked it up. Dr. Facilier. Oh, right. A friend told me the way you remember it is that he facilitates deals. Facilia. Okay. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong because I don't French. We know this from my from my other Let's Plays. But okay, so this is Mia. We can continue on with now the important stuff's out of the way. Mia, not Vanessa. I'm glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. Yeah, didn't it say this was our first case? That's kind of ambitious. It says a lot about you and your client as well. Thanks. Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. A favor? You mean you knew the defendant before this case? Yes. Actually, I kind of owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. Well, that's news to me. I want to help him out any way I can. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much. It's over. My life, everything, it's all over. Is that your client screaming over there? Yeah, it's him. Death, despair. Oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna die. It sounds like he wants to die. Thank you, Mia. Yeah. Nick! Hey there, Larry. He has stars for eyes. Dude, I'm so guilty. Tell them I'm guilty. Give me the death sentence. I ain't afraid to die. What? What's wrong, Larry? Oh, it's all over. I'm finished. Finished. I can't live in a world without her. I can't. Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Aw, Nick, you gotta tell me. Who took my baby away? The person responsible for your girlfriend's death? The newspapers say it was you. Ooh, it's in red. That means it's important. Right? I'm assuming that's what that means. My name is Phoenix Wright. Here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. I mean, it's a murder, but it's a simple murder. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butts. My best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying, when something smells, it's usually the butts. Okay, we will write down the red text. In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself in trouble. One thing I can say, though, is usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. But I know better than anyone that he's a good guy at heart. That, and I owe him one, which is why I took the case, to clear his name. And that's just what I'm going to do. Yay! August 3rd. So wow, if she died on the 31st, this is like 3 days later? That's fast. Speedy justice indeed. This is the judge. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
defense is ready, Your Honor. Mr. Wright? This is your first trial, is it not? Yes, Your Honor. I'm, a little nervous. Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness.
He's testing me. Isn't that what the bar exam is for?
Yes, Your Honor. Hands shaking, eyesight fading. The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please state the name of the defendant in this case. So we got Phoenix Wright, which is me, Mina Fey, which is my boss, and Larry Butts, which is the defendant. The defendant? Well, that's Larry Butts, Your Honor. Did you honestly think I didn't know that? Correct. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me, what's the victim's name?
Oh, we know this one.
Glad I read the case report cover to cover so many times. It's... Wait. Oh... No way. I forgot. I'm drawing a total blank here.
Phoenix, are you absolutely sure you're up to this?
My God.
You don't even know the victim's name?
Oh, the victim. Of course I know the victim's name. I, just forgot temporarily.
I think I feel a migraine coming on.
Look,
the victim's name is listed in the court record. Just press tab to check it at any time, okay? We did that. Remember to check it often. Do it for me, please. I'm begging you.
Mr. Wright, who is the victim in this case?
Cinder Block. Cindy Stone.
The victim's name is Cindy Stone. Correct. Now tell me, what was the cause of death?
She died because she was hit with a blunt object.
She was struck once by a blunt object.
This is easy.
You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you. Thank you, Your Honor, because I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure. Well then. First, a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne?
Yes, Your Honor?
As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what that object was?
The murder weapon was this statue of the Thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim.
I see. The court accepts it into evidence.
I don't feel like they should be only now telling us about this. We haven't had a chance to examine it. A statue in the shape of the Thinker. It's rather heavy. Right. Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during trial. That evidence is the only ammunition you have in court. Use tab to check the court record frequently. I will, okay. Stop riding me.
Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness.
The prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Butts, to the stand.
Chief, what do I do now?
Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate.
Uh-oh. Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Oh my gosh.
His face. Ahem. Mr. Butts, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you?
Hey, watch it, buddy! We were great together! We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra and Mark Antony!
Didn't they all die?
I wasn't dumped. She just wasn't taking my phone calls. Or seeing me. Ever.
His little eye twitched.
What's it to you anyway?
Mr. Butts, what you describe is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder.
What do you mean, one of them? Lies, all of it lies. I don't believe a word of it.
Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died. Passport. The victim apparently arrived home from Paris on 7:30. Paris.
Indeed, she appears to have returned the day before the murder. Dude, no way!
The victim was a model, but she did not have a large income. It appears that she had several sugar daddies.
Daddies? Sugar?
Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle.
Dude!
We can clearly see what kind of woman this Ms. Stone was. Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now? Right. I don't think you want him to answer that question.
Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I...
We'll stop him from answering.
Objection! My client had no idea the victim was seeing other men. That question is irrelevant to this case. Oof. Wins. Dude! Nick! What do you mean, irrelevant? That cheating she-dog! I'm gonna die! I'm just gonna drop dead! Yeah, and when I meet her in the afterlife, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. Let's continue with the trial, shall we? He's very over the top.
I believe the accused motive is clear to everyone.
Yes, quite. Oh boy, this is so not looking good.
Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Well, did you or did you not?
Well, maybe I did and maybe I didn't. Uh-oh, he went. What do I do? I feel like this is having him lie would be bad, so I'm gonna have him answer honestly. I know. I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth. Yeah. I was there. I went. Order. Well, Mr. Butts? Dude, chill. She wasn't home, man, so, like, I didn't see her. Oh my gosh. Objection! Your Honor, the defendant is lying. Lying? The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butts is lying. Well, that simplifies matters. Who is your witness? The man who found the victim's body. Just before making the gruesome discovery, he saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime. Order in the court. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness. Yes, Your Honor. This is bad. On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Sawit to the stand. I'm going to write down his name. It might be important. That's the murderer! Mr. Sawit,
You sell newspaper subscriptions, is this correct? Oh, yes. Newspapers, yes.
Mr. Solid, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder.
Oh, okay. It's even got like a little testimony blinky. Oh, crumbs. Hold on just a second. And we're back. All right, witness account. Let's see what he's got to say. I was going door to door, selling subscriptions, when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. That seems important. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. Well, all of that is wrong. The man who ran was without a doubt the defendant sitting right over there. Many of the things he said was wrong.
Larry, why didn't you tell the truth?
I can't defend you against a testimony like that.
Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working?
Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building.
Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout?
Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Sawit used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal. Electricity to Miss Stone's building was out from noon 12 to 6 p.m. on the day of the crime. Okay.
Now, Mr. Wright.
Yes. Yes, Your Honor?
You may begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination, Your Honor? Do we not know what that is?
All right, this is it. The real deal.
What exactly am I supposed to do?
Why, you exposed the lies in the testimony the witness just gave.
Lies?
What? He was lying? Your client is innocent, right? Then that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is your client really guilty?
How do I prove he's not?
You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there. First, find contradictions between the court record and the witness's testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face. No, wait, that's Vanessa. Okay. Open the court record with tab, then point out contradictions in the testimony. Okay. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. Can we... If he couldn't go inside, how did he call?
Objection!
This evidence clearly reveals the contradiction in that statement, Your Honor.
How exactly are that evidence and the statement just now related?
They aren't, are they?
Gosh, not at all. Mr. Wright, please think the facts over before making accusations. I don't think that won me any points with the judge.
Well, excuse me for pointing out.
Fine, we'll go to the one I know. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. There. If it was 1 p.m., then she couldn't have died from 4 to 5.
Objection!
You found the body at 1 p.m. You're sure?
Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain.
Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death at sometime after 4 p.m. There was no body to find at 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap?
This is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time.
After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Solid, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.?
Gee, that's a really good question. Great job, Wright. Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one and their whole story falls apart. Wait, I remember now.
Would you care to give your testimony again?
You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding.
Well, we can fix that. I see. You heard a voice saying the time on a taped program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Right. You know what to do.
I've got this one.
Okay. So it can't come from the television because there was a blackout.
Objection!
Hold it right there. The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video. The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Sawit?
No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Quite. Wait, I remember now.
Mr. Sawit, the court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility.
That and you seem rather distraught.
Oh no, sorry, that's the judge. That and you seem rather distraught.
My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body.
Very well, Mr. Sawit. Let's hear your testimony once more, please.
Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw.
Oh, what? You saw a clock? I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Gladly.
Well, I feel it's more important the fact that he said he didn't go inside, but apparently I can't use his own testimony as evidence.
Objection!
Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was this statue. Now, how is this supposed to be a clock? What? You with your objections and your evidence. Just who do you think you are? Just answer the question, Mr. Sawit. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock. Your Honor, if I may. Yes, Mr. Payne. As the witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submitted it as a statue. My apologies. I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with his testimony now? Yes, I do. Your Honor, there is a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he... Well, both of these seem plausible. Went into the apartment, knew the victim. Tell me, isn't it true that you knew the victim? In fact, you were one of her sugar daddies. Be frank with us, Mr. Sawit. Frank? I'm always frank. Your Honor, we have complete records of the victim's relationships. Mr. Frank Sawit does not appear anywhere. Huh? Oh, really? Please, Mr. Wright, is the best response you can muster up? Try to refrain from making off-the-cuff accusations in the future. Oh no, we screwed up! Yes, Your Honor, let me think this over. The witness knew it was a clock because he... Fine, went into the apartment. Alright, so we're not allowed to make off-the-cuff accusations. You're lying! You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Oh yeah? Prove it! Prove I went in there! I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard. Order in the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sawit. The sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time. What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture. Baseless? Just look at the witness's face. Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? That day, I never... Look, the clock, I heard... No, I mean, I saw... Oh my god, what? Shut up, I hate you! It was him, I tell you, I saw him! He killed her, and then he should burn, give him death! He threw his toupee into her face! Order in the court, I say. Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims. Mr. Wright, Your Honor, you claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is riding on this. I better think it through carefully. Your Honor, the sound Mr. Sawit heard was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply... try a clock? Let's sound the clock now, here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully. I
I think it's 8:25.
That certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is the thinker, after all. So we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now?
It's 11:25.
As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Sawit heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Sawit, try to talk your way out of this one.
You forgot one thing.
Uh-oh, what's he talking about now?
While it may seem like that clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case.
What, really? He's right. How am I going to prove that? Damn it! I was so close. Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim.
Yes, Your Honor.
This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately.
What? What did we do wrong?
This ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Sawit.
I come all the way down here to testify, and look what happens. You treat me like a criminal. A criminal! You lawyers are all slime.
I almost had him. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now.
What? What did we do wrong? Not so fast, Mr. Sawit!
Chief!
Listen up, Wright! Don't throw this one away! Not like this! Think!
But, Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that.
Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason and you'll have your proof. Right? Can you think of a reason as to why the clock would be 3 hours slow? Well, she was in Paris. What's the time difference between Paris and... Where the hell are we? Are we in Japan? Yes. Wait! Maybe I can prove it. You must have evidence somewhere that can prove it, right? Find it and let them have it!
Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim? Of course. There is a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a doubt.
Ha! Tough words! Let's see you pull this one off!
Let's see this evidence that proves why the clock was running slow.
Well, it's not the autopsy report, it's not the clock itself, it's not the blackout record. I have to think it's the time difference between Paris and wherever we are, plus the fact this is the only thing we haven't used.
Take that!
Take that!
The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast! The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Sawit, or should I say, Mr. Did It!
Oh my god! He's foaming at the mouth! Oh my gosh, he collapsed! Help!
Order! Order, I say! Well, this case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your witness?
He was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly and find the true culprit at the same time. Thank you, Your Honor. At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts, not guilty. Dun dun.
Oh, and they released the confetti that all courtrooms have in the ceiling. That's a fact.
And with that, this court is adjourned. It turns out that Frank Sawit was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the house. That day... Oh... When Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Sawit let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Sawit grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find.
Oh, poor Cindy. So does that mean we won?
Whew, I still can't believe we won. Hold on just a second, I'm sorry.
And we're back. And I have a soda. Alright, so let's review. I can't believe we won. And we're... Let's try that again. There we go. Right! Good job in there! Congratulations! Thanks, Chief.
I owe it all to you.
Not at all, not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such a satisfying note.
I've never seen a chief looking this happy.
If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel. My life is over.
Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now?
Let's try that again. Sorry. It's like every time I sit down to record a Let's Play, it's like everyone in the Western Hemisphere calls my phone, like at the same time. Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now?
Oh, Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. My gosh.
Good. Wait, no. I mean, bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed.
But my Cindy Wendy's gone, man. Gone forever.
Larry, she was... Never mind. Congratulations, Harry.
Harry?
Yes, you. I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butts, innocent.
Harry Butts. Hey, thanks. I really owe you one. I won't forget this, ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner? Movie? My treat.
Oh no, I couldn't.
Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Oh, hey. Here, take this. It's a present.
A present? For me? Wait, wasn't this the evidence that...
Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me.
Really? You made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento.
Yo, Nick. Can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And she was just playing me for a fool. Don't that make you just want to cry?
Larry...
Get off my lawn.
Are you so sure?
Excuse me?
I think she thought quite a lot of you in her own way.
Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me. It's okay.
Oh, I'm not just sympathizing, really. Isn't that right, Wright? Don't you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him?
Huh? Oh, yeah, right. What the heck is she talking about? I have no idea what I'm supposed to show. The badge doesn't make sense. The autopsy doesn't make sense. Well, she took the clock he made to France with her. And it's a really big freaking clock. Like, you'd think a watch would be just as good. It's rather heavy.
Take that!
Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't just some chump to her. Huh? What about the clock? This is the clock you made for her, Larry. And she took it with her when she traveled. Whatever. She probably just needed a clock, that's all. You think so? It's a pretty heavy clock to take traveling. Well, make of it what you will. Hey, Nick. I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am. Thanks. Hope that made him feel a little better. Okay.
Right? I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you realize things change depending on how you look at them. People, too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And in order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. Right? Listen, learn, grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off?
Yeah, I guess so.
Say, how about dinner? On me.
Dinner on you? Sorry.
We'll drink a toast to innocent butts.
Yeah!
Oh, speaking of Harry, you were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him.
Yeah, part at least.
You'll have to tell me more about it sometime. Maybe over drinks?
And so, my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends. But I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay us, unless you count the clock he gave Mia, which I don't." I didn't know it then, but that clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident. Dun dun! And my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep.
Oh no! What the heck does that mean? Is something gonna happen to Mia? That's not cool! A brand new episode has been added. Okay, so, that was fun. That was actually really fun. I'm surprised by how fun that was. Like I said, I never played this before. I didn't know what I was getting into, just that it was some kind of legal drama thing. So what have we learned? We learned that I can't use the victim test or the witness testimony against itself. Like he didn't enter the apartment, but he used the phone. I couldn't rub those pieces together. It has to be evidence used against the testimony. And we learned that I shouldn't try to leap to conclusions like, therefore you knew the victim, and that was why you were in her apartment. I thought that was the right answer, because I thought you went into the apartment was so
blatantly obvious that it didn't need to be stated. Plus, okay, I assumed that he would only know about the statue being a clock if the victim had shown it to him. I hadn't thought about the fact that it went off when he used it to murder her, so that was pretty cool. So I'm gonna cut the video here, right? Because I'm sure that was an hour. It was probably more than an hour. And I'll pick up on episode 2 when we come back to that. Thank you again, Ben, for getting me on this game, and also for making it so I can play again from the couch and do it right this time, because I'm a perfectionist. And thank you, Cold Run, for getting me this game so I can let's play it on the computer. This one that you're seeing here is the Steam version. And everybody else, if you're interested in this game, definitely check it out on Steam. I'm hoping that this Let's Play doesn't get flagged for anything. Usually I Let's Play like indie games where I've already found a positive LP statement on their game site somewhere, or I'll email them and get permission. This is a bigger name. Obviously it's not an indie game, so there wasn't any way I could get permission, but I hopefully it'll be all right. Let's all cross our fingers and toes. Once again, my name is Anna Murdal. This has been Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney Trilogy, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you. Bye-bye.